Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Today I just wanted to share with you briefly a realization I had about the flow state and some common misinterpretations of it and misperceptions of what it really is. The flow state is, the essential nature of the flow state is just doing what the heart wants to do in every single moment. It's becoming a servant to your own heart and letting your heart lead you and guide you in every moment. This is the flow state. Now, a lot of us, and myself included, we sometimes think that we can't show up to be creative, that we can't show up to follow our heart if we're not in a certain energetic state. So, for example, myself, I used to, and I still do this from time to time, for sure. I used to, especially though when I was first starting, think that I could only shoot a video if I was like really inspired to do it. Like if I felt like the energy, like in the right energetic state or like the right frequency, or I thought if I'm not in a really high place, then I definitely don't, I can't be creative. I just need to let it go and just be and just wait until the energy tells me that yes, you can be creative now, or that you should be creative now. But after doing this for a long time, I've realized that our heart is actually always telling us the truth. For example, we can be in a really low state, maybe more of a depressed state, lifeless feeling, or even anxious, a fearful state. But our heart can say, wake up and tell us, hey, I want to share something now, in my case, for a video. Or for you, maybe it's, hey, it's time to sign up for that music lesson, or time to start writing that book. Maybe it's time for you to, whatever it is for you. The heart might be telling you to do something, but our ego comes in and says, oh, I'm in too low of a state to do that. I have to wait until I'm more healed or something, or until I have integrated more trauma. And this is actually where I was for probably the 4 weeks leading up until I finally shot a video. I kept feeling like this movement in me was like, wanted to share. I wanted to share. But then the ego would come in and judge that impulse and say, you're not healed enough. You still have work to do. You need to wait until you're more clear-headed. You need to wait until your energy is in a higher state before you can sit in front of the camera and share. And that was really starting to, that pressure was really starting to build up, and it was becoming pretty painful, actually. And the first video I shot with Sarah, I really felt like energetically I was just not in the place to share at all. But something deeper pulled me, or something deeper was speaking to me to tell me to it's time to share now. And I just, it kind of felt like I was forcing it in a way. And that's the thing I would share with you. If your heart's telling you to do something, and it feels like you're forcing it, do it anyways. Now, on the other hand, if your mind is telling you to do something and you just feel like you don't want to do it, then that's something you need to let go of, If your mind's telling you need to do something, a certain thing, to get validation, but your heart's just telling you to just let go of it, that's a different path. And that's a different teaching. But for this teaching, it's it's important not to let the ego tell us when it's time to create or not create, or let our energetic state determine when we're creative and following up on what our heart desires, or when we are shutting that down. I mean, on the flip side, you can be in a really high state, a beautiful state of consciousness, really in a very expanded state. And the heart might be telling you, just enjoy this. Just be with this. Where your ego might be saying, hey, you're in a really high state. For me, it's my ego will be like, hey, you're in a really high state. You better take advantage of this and share right now. So, so people see you in this frequency or whatever. And I'm sure you can relate to this, where you wait for certain energetic states to arrive before you feel safe to do something. But I've had recent experiences where I've been in a really, just like I said, just a really nice place energetically, a really high frequency, really tapped in and connected. And I can feel my heart saying, just enjoy this. Connect deeper to your surroundings in this moment. Listen to this beautiful music by this street performer right now. Connect to these animals, these birds in this lake near you. Don't worry about always thinking you need to, be doing a certain thing when you're in a certain energetic state. Like when the heart, it's inconvenient for the ego, and the ego will resist it quite a bit when the heart's telling you, hey, go do this thing now, even though you're not inspired and you feel like shit and you've been purging all day and there's still tons of trauma in your body and your mind and all of this stuff. There's tons of inner work to do, but the heart's telling you, hey, show up for this, please. Because here's the thing: when you follow your heart in those moments, that's actually incredibly healing. That's going to help you heal the trauma that's coming up. That's going to actually help you shift into a different energetic state. It's like, for me, I was just waiting so long for the higher state to arrive before I could come share with you guys. But I actually didn't tap into the higher frequency until I just fucking sat down and shared with you, and just while I was in the lower state. And then that actually helped me move through some layers of trauma to really open things back up. And then I just felt for 3 consecutive days, my crown chakra opened back up. I was just feeling more expanded than ever. And that, I don't think, would have happened if I didn't just do that first video where I just felt, so probably at my rock bottom, which is an interesting time for me to come back to sharing once I got here to Berlin, was at my rock bottom, energetically wise, and in a feeling state way. But that also liberated me, because it was like, if I can just share when I'm at my worst, well, now it's only up from there, right? And so I just wanted to hop on and say that, like, the flow state is, you can be in the flow state even if you're in a lower energetic state. So much of spirituality, it gets the flow state confused. Like, you're only in the flow state if you're like super connected to source, or if you're in this really high vibration. You can be in a low vibration and still be flowing just beautifully. You can still be creative. You can still be showing up. It's just that egoic resistance that will tell us that we can't do that. All you got to do is show up and be yourself. That's all the universe ever wants from you, is to just show up and be yourself. It doesn't matter if you're filled with trauma, lower energies, if you're exhausted, if you're depressed. If your heart's telling you to show up somewhere, you just step into that. It's an invitation. It's a doorway. Life's trying to help you integrate even faster, even in an even deeper way. Your heart, following your heart, is always a guide map back into connection. And sometimes we have to take those first initial steps when we're feeling so disconnected and uninspired. But we can just feel that pressure inside of us saying, now's the time. It doesn't matter how you feel. So the main thing I want to get across to you guys is, don't let your energetic state deter you from listening to your heart. If it feels, and a big thing I know even for me is, don't force. But if there's a time to force it just a little bit, it's when your heart's speaking to you, and it's when you're going in the direction of the heart. That's the time to do it, and to just trust that movement. Just trust your heart and to surrender to it in every moment. So I hope this was helpful. It really helped me today, because coming back and shooting like I have been, I've even gotten caught back up in this trap a little bit of I have to be in a certain state. I was doing that today. And then I realized, no, actually, it doesn't matter at all. I just have to show up and be myself. It doesn't matter what state I'm in. And I wish for you that same liberation that I discovered, because that actually shifts you more than anything. That liberation that you can just be yourself and be creative no matter what, as long as your heart's guiding you to do this. I mean, that can really take you into a new dimension. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate the sessions that you guys book with me, and all of the support through your donations. It means a lot to me. And I hope to share a video of me walking around Berlin soon. I did some exploring today. It's an absolutely incredible city. It's a beautiful city. I'm so in love with Berlin, and I hope to be sharing that with you soon. Also, some Q&A videos coming up. I feel I've received so many incredible questions from you all, and I'm actually really excited to start working through those. So have a great night or day, whatever time it is for you guys there. I love you all. Namaste.